Hi everyone. I just have to start off with my little funny story. So, there's one lady in this room that's actually responsible for me being here today. I have to tell my story about the one person. She's not even looking at me. But anyway, Del Blue. So my cousin was having her 50th birthday party, my cousin Dawn, in Charlotte. And she was leaving from Boston. I was leaving from Boston. She was like, oh, you should call my high school friend Del Blue. You could ride with her to Boston. So Del came to pick me up, drove like a maniac. I didn't even think we would ever make it to Boston. She's going in and out, in and out, in and out. But then when we came back, she dropped me off home. She lifted up her shirt and she showed me, at the time she had one breast and one like flat line, right?
Never,
or it was two.
Flat line. It was two like this.
Okay.
You were amazed because you were bunch.
I was so amazed,
and they actually
so
were a little
amazed.
smaller. They seem like they're grown.
So that was the first time that I had ever seen a breast that had been affected by breast cancer. So I want to thank you for your transparency. For those who weren't here earlier, she actually lifted up her shirt and showed everyone what it looks like. So there we go.
Oh, I've seen many.
Yes. Yes.
Seen many.
So fast forward to present day, Del came into this salon. It wasn't even open yet, this hair store, this beautiful hair store by Des. Can we give her another round of applause? And she went live and she was like looking around and the store wasn't even open yet. So then I did a drive-by and I did my live video and then I was here for the ribbon cut, and I'm just really grateful for the opportunity to be here today. Okay. Love you too. So my name is Paula Williams, and as I just said, I'm honored to be here at Dez's Beauty Supply Store, Farmington Avenue 509, Hartford, Connecticut. So I've been married to my husband, Rich Williams, for 28 years, and together we have 2 children, Trinity, who's here today, and Christian, and my mother is also here today. So that is 3 generations. My college roommate is here, Melody, and I have 2 friends that I've been friends with for over 20 years that are here, Cadicia Rice and Racina Reynolds.
Real friends.
Yes. A lot of people can't say that they've known people for 20 years, so I'm so happy about that. I'm a proud graduate of Central Connecticut State University, a deaconess at the First Cathedral Church in Bloomfield, Connecticut, a suicide preventionalist. I've been recognized as so many women in this room, a 2019 100 Women of Color. Racina was 2018, and my daughter and Racina's mother were this year, a couple weeks ago, class of 2025.
Whoa.
I've also been a Black People Rock honoree, a Blackity Black honoree, and in 2023, I received the Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award from President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris for my work with So now I'm just going to share a little bit about my journey. A lot of people in this room have already heard it. So, and that's why I apologize for reading. Normally I just talk it, but I don't want to forget the key things. So I'm just going to read it to you. In September of 2019, during a routine 3D mammogram, everything seemed normal. And I was actually excited because the 3D ones were supposed to be good and capture everything. And I went and took it, and I got a letter in the mail within a month. And it said, congratulations, your mammogram was normal, no problem. So I was really, really, really excited about that. And then a few days later, my OBGYN called me, and she said, although I was satisfied, she wasn't satisfied. She wanted me to follow up with an ultrasound, which I didn't want to do. I didn't want any more bills. I didn't want any more appointments. I was against it. But she reminded me of 2 things. Number 1, that I had dense breasts. And number 2, she reminded me of something that I had told her that had happened a couple of years earlier, when I was hanging out with my father. We were on the deck. It was a beautiful day, and it was Father's Day. And he never, ever, ever talked about his mother. Like, never. It was just something that never came up. He wouldn't talk about it. And he told me that his mother had breast cancer and that her name was Pauline, and she passed away of breast cancer. And then I was born, and they named me after her. So that presented family history, which is good to know. You have to ask your relatives and stuff about family history. So I followed her advice, and I went to the ultrasound, and that decision saved my life. The ultrasound revealed a tumor that was 1.7 centimeters, and it was HER2 positive, which was aggressive and fast growing. So when I heard the news, I was pretty devastated. And my husband, who's a 2-time kidney cancer survivor, held my hand and said, we've been through this before. God healed us before, and he's going to do it again. So then that started the journey. I met with my incredible breast cancer surgeon, Dr. Camilla Lawrence, and she confirmed me that the tumor had already doubled in size. That's why these balls are good to talk about, because that 1.7 centimeter tumor had already went to 2.5 in less than a month. And then the tests later showed that it had doubled in size to over 5 centimeters. So the initial plan was to go in and do surgery and then start chemo, but because this tumor was growing so big, we couldn't do the surgery. We had to start chemo right away. So I began chemo in January of 2022. It was one of the hardest seasons of my life. I remember going to the first chemo appointment, and he said, when was your last menstrual cycle? I was like, oh, it was a week ago. And he said, that's the last one you'll ever have for the rest of your life. I'm like, what? And he's like, you're going to go into menopause. You're going to lose your hair. You're going to lose nails. All these terrible things. It felt like it was like a dream. Like he was talking about somebody else and not me. But he was right. That was the last cycle that I ever had. My hair did begin to fall out. My daughter actually recorded my hair falling out, and I kept Googling and going on YouTube. I would see lots of people losing their hair and going through the journey, but they didn't look like me. So I said, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to record it. I'm going to be transparent so that other people can see people that look like me. We put it on Facebook. Over 5,000 people watched me go bald in 24 hours. And people are still looking at that video even now. People like all over are reaching out to me. Somebody did just last week, told me she was about to lose her hair and she was fearful. I sent her the video and she was like, I feel so much better. And then she showed me a picture of her cutting her hair. So after that, the chemo process continued. I went every 3 weeks for altogether over a year when you combine chemotherapy and immunotherapy. After every single treatment, my husband had to stick me with a needle in my stomach, which just sent this excruciating bone pain throughout my whole entire body. And I would get nauseated, I would get weak, diarrhea, constipation, all of those things. So after months of chemo, I chose to undergo a double mastectomy. And even with the double mastectomy, people were saying like on Facebook, I'm having a DMX, I'm having a DMX. I didn't even know what that was. I only knew of the rapper DMX. I was just like, what does this mean? I remember writing to somebody, what is a DMX? And she said, that's when both breasts are removed. I said, that's what I wanted to. I'm just going to have them both removed. Even though a lot of people don't go that route, that's what I thought would be good for me. So my surgeon agreed with me. She supported me. A lot of people don't support. You have to like fight for your rights sometimes to get both removed, because a lot of people make money off the plastic surgeries and like all the things that come next. But I was like, I just want to remove them both. Met up with her. We had the surgery. She removed both breasts, and I went home the very next day. Like the next day I was home. And 2 days after that, I felt like something wasn't right. The drains were like overflowing with blood, and I was hearing noises, and there were like gray circles. And next thing you know, I couldn't see. I felt like I couldn't even breathe. I yelled down to Trinity. She got Rich, and he just kind of threw me in the car with a nightgown on in the rain. And we went to Hartford Hospital. My surgery was in New Britain, and her whole team was in New Britain. And he got in touch with her, and he said, my wife needs you. She came to a hospital that she doesn't even work at with a staff that she's not even familiar with. And she opened me back up, and she found a 1-liter hematoma that was on my chest that was crushing it. And she had to open me back up. So she operated on me twice in 4 days at 2 different hospitals. So, and when I was going through this was during COVID. So I couldn't have like my girlfriends coming around, hanging out. Everybody was social distancing, wearing masks. Even going to the hospital, I couldn't have visitors. I was trying to sneak people in. I was there during Father's Day. So then I got through the surgery, and 2 weeks after coming home, Dr. Lawrence said she wanted to see me. And I was like, I could barely move. Like, I'm all bandaged up, I'm bald and frail. Didn't want to go, but she said, come in. We went in. She said the scars look good like Dell's. And she told me that during the surgery, she cut 12 lymph nodes from under my arms because the lymph nodes could tell if it spread to other parts. And she said that she had already sent the 12 to the pathology lab and that she got the results. And I wasn't expecting any of this. I thought it would take weeks to get the results. And she said all 12 lymph nodes were benign. So I was like, praise God. And then the next step was radiation. And so I asked her 25 rounds of radiation. So I said, what about the tumor, this 5-centimeter tumor? And she said she also sent that to the lab because when she went in to do the surgery, she couldn't find the tumor. It was completely, there was no trace of the tumor whatsoever. So she wanted to double check everything. And she got the results from the lab, and she handed me a piece of paper that said NED, no evidence of disease. So the prayers were just going up. I was just on the campaign. I know a lot of people in this room prayed for me, and thank you. And I just kept telling people, pray, 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 pray. Because I knew if the prayers went up, the blessings would come down. And I stood on 2 Kings 20:5, where God said, I've heard your prayers, I've seen your tears, and I will heal you. And there were many times where I just cried, but I knew that the healing was going to come. So after that, I'm thinking that because you get a port, and that's how you get your medication, hook up to chemo and everything. So I'm like, oh, let's take off the port. I had rang the bell, and that's when I found out that I had to now do 6 months every 3 weeks of immunotherapy to build back up my immune system. So I to continue to go through that. And then February of 2023, they removed the port, and I stand before you today flat, happy, and healed. So I just want to say that I'm a living proof that prayer works. God still heals. And even when cancer tries to take everything away from you, it can't take away your purpose, it can't take away your joy, and it can't take away your praise. Amen.